and welcome to the Will I Vike It podcast. Today I'm in Jorvik and my guest is Jimmy The Welsh Viking. Welcome, Jimmy.
Thank you.
You were requested. I can't remember who, but whoever it was, thank you, because we've ended up setting this up. So.
As long as it wasn't a police force or a county court, then it's an honour to be requested.
So, what is it that you do?
I make videos. I make YouTube videos about history, and that's mostly it. I make history videos about all sorts of things, lots of Viking Age related stuff, because I do Viking Age reenactment like yourself, and do lots of living history things. And during lockdown, I couldn't do them anymore, so I thought I'll start a YouTube channel, and it's the next best thing. If I can't go to reenactors can come to me.
Ah, awesome. So that was going to be my next question, was what made you start a YouTube channel? But lockdown.
Yeah, lockdown. Boredom.
But it seems to be going quite well, I think. You've got quite a following.
Going all right so far. We've just got to about 60,000 subscribers on the channel, and we've got a Patreon and stuff now, so that's all lovely. And lots of fun collaborations are happening like this one. So yeah, it's still fun, so I'm still doing it.
That's the only reason to do it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, if it stops being fun, there's not much point doing it.
Yeah, people have sort of asked me before about why do you do it, and it's like, because it's fun. As soon as I don't enjoy the reenactment or anything again, then that's when I'm going to stop, I think.
It's a good laugh so far.
And I think I've seen a few of your videos, so I think some of what you do is more about the clothing, right? So you sort of...
Yeah, I focus a lot on clothes because I've got an interest in textile archaeology and history and fashion history, and like I dress like an Edwardian most days, so I've just got a sort of natural leaning towards clothing history and fashion history. So I focus a lot on that, but more recently I've been looking at sort of hard archaeology and things like that, because my degrees are in archaeology, and it's nice to get a bit of variety. There's only so many times I can talk about stitch counts and tabby leaves and warp-weighted looms before people switch off.
There is that, yeah. And because you've done a few videos where you've kind of broken down things like the Vikings TV show and the kit that they're wearing, which I think have gone down quite well for you.
They've gone down quite well. People recognise it. People recognise the big blockbuster programmes when you put it in the thumbnail picture and in the title that you're going to talk about the TV show. I think a lot of people come in and go, "Oh, who's this pillock talking about my favourite TV show?" And then are sometimes pleasantly surprised, and probably mostly not pleasantly surprised at all, because it's just me hating on the bad costume. But there we go.
Right, it's not always a bad thing. Like, that's actually what got me into reenactment in the first place.
Yep, a lot of people have been switched onto Viking history because of the TV show or other TV shows, and like Last Kingdom's got a lot of people into some of the Anglo-Saxon side of stuff, and it does a bit of a job.
Yeah,
visually it leaves much to be desired, but don't we all?
And I think before, because you did other reenactment periods before, right? Before the Vikings.
Yeah, I started doing English Civil War with the Seal Knot and English Civil War Society. I've done some high medieval stuff, Tudor, bit World War One, bit World War Two, Napoleonic Regency, Roman Imperial and Republican. That's it so far. Quite a few. That's it so far. Yeah, I haven't got many left.
Is it like when you get bored, you move on, or is that?
I don't know. I don't think I get bored. I think I just am interested in everything. So if an opportunity presents itself to start something new that's not going to cost me a fortune after the income tax return has gone in, and it looks like fun, I'll give it a crack. So yeah, whatever it may be.
I'm going to say, because reenactment's quite an expensive hobby, whichever.
Can be. Unless you're medieval scumbag number one with no shoes and a scabby tunic.
Yeah,
which I am most of the time.
That's it. It doesn't have to be an expensive thing. It's a bit. Don't want to put people off. They've not done it before. Whereas you can start off on a smaller budget, and then you can get carried away. And we've got some extra guests. Hello.
We've got some super special guests. Nope, and they found something else. Okay.
Fun.
It's going well.
Yes, mid-show entertainment.
Mid-show entertainment. Half-time show. Love it. Yeah. Well, it can be as expensive as you want, can't it? Really, like you can be very responsible and just get your tunic and your pants, or you can succumb to the temptation of the 10th century traders at Jorvik. And
yes,
I was talking to somebody the other day who said that their budget for the weekend was £1,000 just for spending, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to keep mine to double figures, like, low double figures if possible. But you do you.
It's easy to get carried away when you're walking around the markets, and there's so many nice things.
So many shiny things and nice fabric, and
Yeah.
I want all of it, but I can't have all of it. I haven't got room for all of it. I live in a small flat.
Actually, my kit was actually made, or most of it. Excuse the boots. I forgot them, and they're back down in Wiltshire.
Unacceptable.
It is unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
I apologise. But yeah, most of my kit was actually made in York. I don't know if you know. Do you know Leah de Bernardi?
Oh, I do. Yes, and I know Eric. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, she made most of my kit. I think apart from the wrap.
She's really good. She's really good. I can't remember. She's got an Instagram page, hasn't she? That she's doing lots of cool.
Yes, which I'll have to remember.
Is it the
later.
Forwick project?
Yes.
It's the Forwick project.
That's the one.
She's got some really cool stuff on that. She's doing some great stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, she's very talented.
And the clothing's half a task. I just should mention yes.
I'll
Which
remember.
at some point
Good.
I think I'll get one as well.
I'll do.
We'll do a
Yeah.
chat.
I need to collaborate more. We were just talking about that. I need to collaborate more because this is good. People engaging other people in the community is always good. So I should do that more instead of just sitting in my bedroom in my underpants complaining about TV programs.
Yeah, lockdown's over now.
Lockdown's over. Not for me. I've always been locked down, and I'll never not be locked down. Oh.
But yeah, that's like with doing the podcast. That's what I found is you end up with networking. You're meeting people like yourself and other people, and just sitting down and having a chat and spreading the network.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's lovely.
fun.
And then lots of small children arrive.
They're not mine.
They're not mine, as far as I know.
I have one somewhere, but I think they've gone off for dinner.
I don't blame them. It's a very good thing to do in York.
Do you want to meet Jim? Nah.
Nah. Hungry. Fair.
Yeah.
I choose food over me every time.
I've forgotten exactly where we got to with this conversation.
I can't remember. We were talking about networking.
Clothes,
talking
yes,
about
networking. I mean, we can move on to talk about food.
Sure thing.
I don't know if you know
Whatever you
much about
fancy.
the period in food.
I did a bit of reading up when you asked me to come and have a chat, but I've done a bit here and there.
Tell us everything you know. No, I'm joking.
Mostly grain-based diet, as you might imagine, from an agrarian society.
No, so yeah, obviously, if you've seen, I don't know, have you watched any of the podcast?
Yeah, big fan.
Big fan.
Big fan.
All of them?
Not yet. Not
Yeah,
yet.
it's fine.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to binge anything to the extent that I'm now waiting for new stuff. I'm so bad for that. I need to control myself.
So yeah, generally my first idea was to get people on the podcast, cook them some food, talk about the food, bring in sometimes elements of things I don't like, just because it would be funny.
Yeah.
And then I realised that's quite difficult. And so there's a few where they branched away a little bit from that format. So for today, as you can see, no campfire,
Lack of fire.
no food.
No food.
What are we going to do? And I thought, what would be more Yorkshire than to go and get a Yorkshire pudding wrap?
I love it.
You down?
I'm down.
So I'm thinking we do that, maybe find a good pub, and then we carry on
So down.
with our chat.
Double down.
Okay, well, we'll catch you. This will be like instant, but yeah. Right, so I went a bit West Country then, didn't I? Right,
Oh,
so,
sure.
right, so we've got our wraps.
You got your rat, my handsome.
Right, so we've got our wraps. We've got a pint of, what was it called? Do you remember?
No.
Pint of something.
Some kind of porter.
Yeah. So we'll just tuck into these. You can watch us eat. We'll chat.
Enjoy that.
Not particularly Viking.
Take
but,
that in.
It's the ASMR experience. You get to listen to us eat.
Viking munching ASMR.
So yeah, we've been to the Yorkshire Roast Co. for a beef Yorkshire pudding wrap.
Can't be bad.
I should try and make a Viking version, shouldn't I? I mean, what have they got in here? That we
Viking
can't
Yorkshire pudding. It's just a flour batter, isn't it?
have? It's doable. We do pancakes. Not even sure which way up it goes.
Pancake.
So, cheers.
Cheers.
Ding.
Lovely.
Mm.
Head start. Hang on.
Sorry, so I
No.
spit it back out.
It's all right. No, I do. Yeah, put it back.
I haven't eaten since breakfast. So I am ravenous.
It's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm.
Good grief, man.
got carried away with the day and the Vikings and the museums and the Minster everywhere.
It's York. It does that.
My daughter was eating sweets all day, so we didn't get lunch. And then before you know it, it's like, oh, I've got to go meet Jim.
Oops.
So yeah, eat a bit of this before I drink the pint, I think. That's good.
That is good. Horseradish.
Recommend it. So, I'll be honest, I forget where we got to, but I think, so you actually live in York, you're not here for the festival?
No, I live here. I moved here last year.
You seem to know everybody. We walk down the street and everyone's, hey, Jim.
I mean, I've worked in enough pubs that I've either worked in or drunk in a pub with the staff that I know pretty much all the bar staff in York at this stage, I think. I used to live here. Lived here for 5 years, moved up to Scotland for a few years, and now I've moved back. So I'm a permanent resident.
Like it?
Love it. What's not to love? I mean, it's expensive, and it's full of tourists all year long, but it's great. Like, you can't beat the Shambles and the Minster and the River Ouse on a misty morning. It's all just ridiculously atmospheric.
Yeah, generally I'm not into cities, like
big cities.
But York's one to make exception for.
Yeah. I mean, it calls itself a city, but like we were just saying, everywhere inside the walls is like a 15-minute walk. So it's a very small city.
Yeah.
Right. I'm technically from a city, but Bangor is a mile from end to end. So it's not a city. It's not like Liverpool or Manchester or something like that. But for somewhere small, it's got a lot packed in. York.
Yeah.
Right.
There's so much to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that the city centre is effectively still a Roman legionary fortress that's just been built on top of for centuries. Like, effectively, the whole proper city centre is just a fortress that's been built up over hundreds and hundreds of years. Like, it's great. It's great.
Try this pint. Oh.
Oh, it's thick.
It's
all right.
Yeah.
It's got mouthfeel.
Like it.
I dig that. I like a porter.
Yeah, so as we were walking off to get the Yorkshire Pudding wrap, I realised that you also do ghost tours.
I do.
Around York.
Yeah.
With the company that, by coincidence, I went to see last night. Yeah. So I didn't know that. So we could have ended up with you last night.
It could have been me.
Would have been a weird one.
Yeah, if you come tomorrow, it would have been me. Yeah, I do ghost tours since the sort of middle of last year. I've been doing them. Not many Viking ghost stories.
That was my next question, because I've been trying to see if there are, because whenever we do any of the tours, none of them mention Vikings. It's always Roman legions and girls that died from the plague and all that sort of stuff.
All the classic stuff, But nuns walled up in hidden chambers,
But yeah, there are, I mean, from a Norse perspective, there are Viking ghost stories. So it's funny that there aren't Viking ghosts here.
Yeah, it's weird. I know of one in York where, down on King's Square, there's supposed to have been a big royal hall built sort of towards the end of the 9th century. And there are a couple of stories from sort of the end of the 19th into the 20th century of people seeing somebody they identify as a Viking who is dripping with silver and has a beard and long hair and that kind of thing, is wearing a tunic.
Was it during the Viking Festival, or?
Oh.
It could
have just been me. But that's the only one I know of, which is really weird, considering how big the Vikings are in like York's history. There's only one Viking ghost story. There's theoretically a poltergeist down by Jorvik Viking Centre. I think it's the guy who did the poo, the fossilized poo.
Yeah.
I think it's him. I think he's embarrassed. I think he's coming back to flush away his unfinished business. I could be wrong.
Is that the poltergeist activity?
That's the poltergeist. It's just a ghostly toilet flush sound haunts the streets. But apart from that, I don't know of any. I don't know of any other Vikings Viking ghost stories in York. Like, there's a couple of medieval ghosts in the Minster who are meant to be like medieval priests and that sort of thing, and knights, but nothing that is nobody wandering around chuntering away in Old Norse or anything like that, which is a shame. It'd be really cool. Like, maybe I'll make a couple up. No one will know. Ha ha ha.
It's all for entertainment. I'm sure you can add a few in.
Never-
Most of them are probably made up anyway, right?
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Yeah. I'd imagine most of the stories are, if not made up, at least elaborated upon. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Embellished.
yeah. Yeah.
Most stories are. Like the sagas, you know, like there's a grain of truth in them. A lot of it's entertainment value. You've got to entertain like a couple of families of people around a fire in a long hall. That story needs to fill that 90-minute slot. 90-minute, like it's a stand-up night. Like you've got a type 5. You've got to fill that. As many Draugr as possible. This is really good. And it's got some of your 5 a day in it as well.
A little bit healthy.
A little bit healthy.
A little bit horseradishy.
Yeah, a little bit horsey, a little bit healthy.
I'll be honest, because I didn't have breakfast, I could do 2 of these, I think. I'll be going back on the way.
I did have breakfast and I could eat 2 of them, but I'm just a fat, greedy monster.
There's a place by us where they do, whenever there's a festival on, they have food stalls. And there's one that does mau dumplings. And the amount of times we've had them and gone back for more, and they just look at you like you're mad.
How? How can you fit more in?
It's you again, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
We've been around, we've decided we need more.
Just give me more dumplings. Don't question it. Just give me more. You know, I never have horseradish. But apparently, nearly all of the wasabi that you get in the UK is just horseradish.
Really?
Pretending to be wasabi. Yeah, supposedly. Don't know where I learned that.
I was eating fermented shark earlier.
Of course,
I'm going to say I've had nothing since
Of course you
breakfast. I had a piece of shark, as you do, and because I couldn't swallow it, I was finding that gets kind of hotter. I think it's the ammonia, and you get like a burn on your tongue. It's almost like a chili effect. I think the radish is nicer.
I'd rather have this than fermented shark ammonia burning through my palate. Call me crazy. I'm on team horseradish.
So you're in a local Viking reenactment group?
I am. Well, yeah, I mean, I play with Regia Anglorum. They're all over the UK.
Yeah,
And
I know a few of them.
yeah, I'm in the York group. There's not many of us. There's a few of us.
Kind of be strange if you were somewhere else, to be honest.
It would be odd if I were like in the Oxford group, wouldn't it?
But we've got some people that live in Cumbria that are in our group,
Oh,
and we're down in our group's in Wantage, an hour from us. So we've got quite a spread out.
do they know?
Do they know
Do they know?
that there are closer groups?
Do they know, like, where are you based? Wantage. Is that in Cumbria? Or
Just outside.
where's it? Is it near Haltwhistle? Or
Yeah, they do some training with the local group, obviously.
Yeah,
And when it
yeah.
comes to shows, they tend to turn up, and they're part of our group because they were in Wantage before. It makes sense. You get to know people.
yeah.
Strange noises again.
I've met people from all over the place who turn up and I'm in your group. Are you? Are you sure? Yeah, I just live in the Isle of Man. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Whatever.
How do you do?
Yeah. Yeah, I was in the group in Liverpool, and then I was in the North Wales group for a bit, and now I'm in the York group, and I was in the Scotland group for a while. Obviously, while I was up there, I was just. Oh.
Is that always regular?
Yeah, I've been with them since I was in uni because one of them came up to me and whispered gently in my ear if I like to be a Viking, and I sort of went, yeah, go on in. They got to me first. They fed me, so I stayed.
It's always the way.
It's a low bar.
Feed people, they stay.
Feed me and I stay. Oh yeah, and I've got capacity. I eat.
So are you taking part in the festival at all?
I will be
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'll be doing the march on Saturday. Doing the afternoon battle and then rocking about town for a bit, doing the evening battle. But I tend to sort of leave it at that because I'm tired. I don't have a stall. I haven't got a display. I'm not doing any talks or anything. But I might try and get a bit of filming done here and there and that sort of thing. Obviously, it's like you're doing. It's a great opportunity to
Networking.
network.
Everyone's here.
Everyone's here. Get some hashtag content. Get a bit of filming done. But yeah, I should be fairly visible. I'll be wearing enormous pink trousers
Nice.
for the march. Oh yeah.
You make your own kit. I know you were talking about fixing shoes earlier.
Yeah, I sew most of my own kit. The only stuff that I wear regularly that's not made by me is my armor. Like nothing made of metal, because I haven't got the facilities or the skills. And at the minute, my leg wraps. I think Liz Dayborn made my leg wraps for me a few years ago. But yeah, I make my hose and my tunics and my shoes and cloak and that sort of thing. Just because that's part of the hobby that I enjoy. A lot of people don't like the sewing aspect. I tolerate the sewing aspect. It's a skill that I wanted to be able to learn, so I can now just about throw clothes together. Calling that good. I don't need to be a particularly expert sewer.
I was mean to. Like I thought I was going to practice. My daughter needs a new tunic. It's smaller. We could start with that, and that didn't happen. Over winter, you're like, we've got all winter, it's fine. And then you start doing podcasts and things, and you're like, oh, wait, I don't have any time to do this. And the season's approaching.
Yep.
She needs tunics. What am I going to do?
That was me 2 days ago. Like, oh, nuts. I've got to put new soles on my shoes, repaint my shield, put some links back in my chainmail. Oh, brilliant. I've got 2 days. Perfect. Why didn't I do all of this over the winter? I'm an idiot.
Getting quite spicy at the bottom.
Getting quite spicy at the bottom.
It's hitting the nose.
Ah!
I don't know. This might sound weird, but I'm not sure that I've ever had horseradish before. I can't remember having. But it's really kicking the nose.
See, I think I have, but it might have been mustard.
Yeah, see. Similar flavour.
Similar flavour, but like, yeah, really like kicks in the sinus. Woo!
Wow. Yeah, it's like sticking pepper up your nose.
Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa. So, better than fermented shark. I'm sticking with that.
You apologised for not having any fermented shark on you.
Would you like some?
I've had some. I thought it was surprisingly okay.
It's fine.
Like, if it was that or starvation, I'd pick the shark. But if there's a quick death available...
I asked Hamish earlier. Hamish said, no, I'm good.
He's such an adventurous little dude, though.
I asked him what was the worst thing he's ever eaten, and it was a fermented fish dish in Norway. So similar kind of idea. I guess. So he's like, no, I've done that.
Been there, done that. Yeah, fair. So, I guess. All right, we'll let him off.
Yeah.
For now.
Well, I'm recording with him at Easter because we're doing an event together.
Are you going up, or is he coming?
We're meeting in the middle, Cumbria.
Oh, is that
Moorforge?
Moorforge. I keep meaning to get over to Moorforge because it looks really. Talking to Adam Parsons about it, Blue Axe.
Yes.
And it looks so cool. It looks such a great place, and it's the kind of place we need. And it's in the north of England as well.
Yes.
Which is lovely. Like, no shade on the south. Love the south.
There should be more northern things.
It's not that there should be less in the south. There should just be more.
And that's part of the problem. They don't get funding and things. Like, it's all self-funded.
Yep.
He runs courses in timber making. This is David, the site owner.
Yeah.
He'll do a timber frame making course, and the people that pay for it, literally all the money goes back into the material.
Yeah.
So he's just running the weekend for free.
Yeah.
He gets a longhouse out of it.
But, but it's not a money spinner. He's not like driving around in a Maserati because he's got Moorforge. Like, it's and it's hard work as well. Like, it is labour. I keep meaning to go over and like lend my dubious strength to lift a couple of beams or...
The beams are in.
Oh, well then...
So now it's cladding.
I won't bother.
So you can do some cladding.
I won't bother. I can clad, I can thatch, I can clad, I can plaster if I have to.
I don't know what he's doing with the roof. The other one is planked.
Plank, maybe
So it
turf.
could be planked. Oh, he did talk about doing a turf roof.
Turf roof would be.
But I think it's one of those, the plan evolves as you go along, doesn't it? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's quite big.
It looks massive, and it'll be so great to have it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having an evening there, like a nice evening feast event in a long hall? It's not in Kent, and I don't have to spend 200 quid on petrol to get down.
Yeah, it cost me that to go to Morphorge the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Reggie's got Wickhurst down in Kent, and that's spectacular. Like,
Never been.
It's lovely. It's a lovely, lovely site.
As a Viking, I'm not welcome.
Well, yeah.
Different society.
Christianised, though. So.
Yes, different society, I mean.
Oh,
Viking society.
Pshaw. Pish tush. You'll come along. You'll have a lovely time.
I've met a few that have done my cookery courses and stuff.
Yeah.
So there are 6 questions that I ask every guest. Would you like them in advance, or are you going to just go for it?
Let's do it.
Is there much clicking there?
No, I've got very good knuckles. My joints are pristine. I was with my personal trainer earlier this morning. He used to work in a pub with me in York, and I was lifting weights, and all of my finger joints just went beautiful. So they're good. And then my back went. 30s hit me like a wrecking ball. Hit me like a freight train.
I'm 40 this year. I'm
Yeah,
going out the other side.
everyone else has started telling me that. Just give me, just let me enjoy what I've got. I know it starts running out. I've got Gandalf the White here, and lay him on me. Do it. I'm ready.
All right, yeah. So there are 6 questions that I ask everybody. 3 for Patreon, 3 for the general podcast.
My body is ready.
You have a funny way of answering. So, 3 questions. First one is, if you had an unlimited budget, what would be your dream project?
Oh, is it restricted to Viking Age stuff? No.
Anything you like.
I want to restore to full working order a British express passenger steam locomotive, because I like steam trains. This is an internet revelation. This hasn't gone out on my channel or anywhere yet. You heard it here first, folks. I like steam trains. What of it? So I would like to restore.
Come at him.
I'd like to fully restore an express passenger steam engine and then have it like on the railway. So it was my train.
And your railway.
My railway. So there. That's been a childhood dream. It's like have my own steam train.
Cool.
Do it up and drive it and wear the hat.
Kind of reminds me, and it's not quite the same scale, but when I was a child, my uncle made a replica Thomas the Tank Engine out of wood that all the kids played on.
Oh, that's so good, though.
If I can find you a picture, I'll have to send
Yes,
it to you,
that's
'cause
so
it was,
good.
He painted it, everything, yeah. Thomas the Tank Engine with carriages in the back for you to sit in.
And that's like a proper toy. Like, not even a toy, it's like a vehicle.
Yeah.
Wooden vehicle that a relative's made for a kid. That's so
pretty cool.
good.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Right, so next question.
Okay.
Surprise you. So, could you survive on a Viking Age diet?
Yes, I think I could. I think I could survive on a Viking Age diet. I've been a student. I've lived off grains.
As have all students.
As have all students. We've all just had rice for dinner for a couple of weeks.
Usually with ketchup or something.
Ketchup.
Yeah.
I used to have just like a bit of Marmite or a bit of Bovril with the rice. No, okay,
Not
fine.
a fan of that one.
Not
No.
a fan of that. All right,
Nope.
cool. You've eaten shark. I reckon I could. Yeah, I think on a Viking diet, I think I'd find ways to be happy on it. Like I'd find honey and fruit and nuts and things, and like I'm trying to actively get rid of processed stuff in my diet as well, as much as I can. Like I'm actively trying to get rid of like the chocky bars and the crisps and the processed sugars and stuff as much as I can, and still enjoy my life. But like, I think I could survive on it. I don't think I'd be happy on it, but I think I could survive.
Well, there is a tying question to that. Is there any food you'd miss on a Viking Age diet?
Chocolate. It's always chocolate. That's too easy. But it is. It's chocolate. I would really miss chocolate. I love chocolate. I love it so much. I'm fully addicted to chocolate. No shame. It's chocolate. Yeah. Dark or brown. Dark or brown. Dark or milk or white. Love it. Would eat it all day long.
Yeah.
I have eaten it all day long.
Nice.
Lockdown was hard on me. Don't judge. But yeah, specifically, I'd miss like chocolate orange. I think.
Yeah.
A Terry's chocolate orange, invented in York
Really?
in 1932.
He knows his facts, people.
Know my onions and my oranges.
What's the worst food you've ever eaten?
So I've got a slightly odd one, I think, because it's a peanut sauce that was made for me when I was in Canada a few years, like about 10 years ago. I went over to Canada.
So not like a satay.
Not like a satay sauce. It was weird. It was like peanuts that had been blended up, and it was like a spiced peanut sauce. So I guess it was like a satay, but it had like other weird flavorings in it.
Shit one.
It was shite. It was awful. And I have never been so violently sick after eating something. It was almost instantaneous. Like I ate it all down. I thought, oh, that was all right. Actually, that was okay. Because I don't like peanuts. I don't like the flavour of peanut. I'm not allergic to them.
Yeah.
And almost immediately, I just technically yawned.
Can you get me the recipe? We'll talk after.
You're a bad man.
I've got an idea.
For an assassination attempt. But it was that. That's the worst thing. Well, or like that's the worst food experience I've had.
Yeah.
Because it went from like, oh, I'm quite looking forward to trying this new experience, and this wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, to awful, violent projectile vomiting.
As we're in the secret Patreon area, I should say, actually, on my honeymoon in York.
Steady.
16 years ago.
Steady.
Almost to the day.
You're not old enough. Sure, child bride, were you?
Yes. That's me.
Mail order husband.
Mail order husband from Swindon.
Lovely.
That was me. I don't know. We've had good food in York since. I will start with that. But actually, initially on the honeymoon, the food was awful. Everywhere we went, we had bad food.
There's some bad food to be had here. I've never eaten here in this particular hostelry that we're in.
Sounds like a challenge.
But I've been a couple of doors up. I've had some pretty, not like offensive, but just bad pub food. You know, like it's clearly just bought in bulk.
Yeah.
And then microwaved.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that. And a lot of places that have gone from really good, freshly made or like prepped in the morning food to buying in bulk, reheating in the microwave stuff. And it's like, it's a bit of a gamble. Bit of a gamble.
So next question, what's your most memorable meal you've ever
had? Oh, probably I went for a massive curry on my 18th with my dad. And it was my 18th, so it was the first time that he could buy me a pint legally. Yeah. He was over the moon because I had no interest in underage drinking. I was such a disappointment. I had no interest whatsoever. And he finally was like, right, do you want a drink? I said, yeah. I'm like, I just had a pint of Kingfisher or something. Yeah. He was so happy that he could buy me a pint. And I had a prawn danzak, when it was like a nice hot sour curry, and that was my regular standard curry that I would have with him every time we went out for a curry. And I lost him late last year, really unexpectedly, and it's one of the last things that we ate together was a king prawn danzak, like I had on my 18th, and I had a pint of Kingfisher. So it was like this lovely little memorable thing. It's really comforting. Really, just like if I'm feeling bad, I go out for a curry with my dad and have a king prawn danzak and a pint of Kingfisher, and it was just like. Nice. Heartening, pleasing experience every single time.
Kind of nice you had that bookend.
It's a nice bookend, isn't it? Yeah, it was lovely. It was good. The actual last thing I ate with him was scampi, but that's not
bad.
That's not as romantic.
Right. So last question.
Okay, I'm ready.
This is the reason I've got you here.
I'm ready. My body is. I'm ready. Oh God! What? No!
You weren't ready. You remember we were talking about ghosts?
My pint.
We were talking about ghosts.
Yeah.
It was the horseradish.
It was the horseradish.
So yeah, you've died. Your family and friends are preparing your burial.
Nice.
And it includes food and drink. What food and drink do you get to take to Valhalla?
Ooh, right. I've got to have mead. Love mead. Gotta have mead.
Any particular flavour or just a straight mead?
Straight mead, but like a really sweet one. I like a really sweet mead. I don't like any dryness, any alcohol sensation. I like it to be like properly crystal like amber coloured. Yeah. But really sweet. because I love that mellow sweetness of honey that you get in the really sweet ones. Probably like a dark beer, like this, like a porter. Or
This is nice.
This is really nice.
I don't know what it was.
I'm gonna find out which one it is because it's really good. Like something like this, a nice porter. Food wise, probably some pickles. I'm really big into pickles. I love pickled foods, and I feel like that's nice and appropriate for some Viking age staples. So like some pickled onions, pickled eggs. Actually, I'll have some pickled eggs. Do you not? I love a pickled egg. I'm such a freak. I love it.
Pickled chilies.
Oh yeah, pickled chili. Pickled garlic.
Yes.
Love pickled garlic.
Yeah.
Maybe can I just have a selection? Can I have a pickle selection?
Yes. Would you like anything on the side? Maybe some bread or some salami or.
I will get some protein. So I'll go like a nice ham, a nice moist ham. Nothing too exotic with like crusts or anything, like a honey roast or something like that, but just like a nice moist ham, and probably just some nice russet apples or something.
Oh, a russet. I've got a tree in my garden that's russet. It's going to go extinct, aren't they reckon?
No. Oh no.
Reading just last week. Shit. Most English species, they think, because of climate change and global warming. The problem isn't actually the heat in the summer, it's that they don't get cold enough in the winter. Oh. So they need to go below -6.
Plant more trees.
More trees, people.
Do it.
Why are you on Patreon?
Why are you on Patreon instead of planting trees?
Plant trees.
Do it. Boycott the fossil fuel industry. But that's what I'll have. I'll have a russet.
Lovely.
I'll have a nice russet apple. I think that's probably enough, isn't it?
It's pretty good.
Food-wise.
Someone will bring something more common, anyway.
Someone bring some bread and some cheese. Oh, wait, no, yeah, gotta have some cheese.
Yeah.
Gotta have some nice hard cheese. Hard
cheese. What sort of cheese?
Like a really filthy Stilton. I love a foul, or Black Sticks blue. Yeah. Like a really nasty blue cheese. Like a really offensive blue cheese. I like blue cheese that is not post-watershed blue cheese. Filthy.
There you go. On that note, the Welsh Viking likes filthy cheese.
Filthy cheese.
Thanks again for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So, where can people find you online? You should give yourself a plug.
I got to plug myself, right?
Yes, go for it.
I'm so bad at self-promotion. Don't make me.
Instagram, Facebook, website.
Instagram, I'm at Little Welsh Viking. YouTube.com/The Welsh Viking. The Welsh Viking was taken on Instagram. My website is www.welshviking.com, I think. I never go on it. No one ever goes on it. It's a useless appendage, just like an appendix. But yeah, YouTube, The Welsh Viking. I'm the Welsh Viking on YouTube.
He's Welsh, too.
I'm Welsh, and I do Viking reenactment.
Thanks for watching, guys. And thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It's been fun.
That's been fun.
Bye.
If you enjoyed the show and want to hear more, remember to like and subscribe and give the show a rating. You can also help keep the show going by becoming a Patreon, where you'll get early access to all episodes. Or check out my range of merch on my store. Links are in the episode description. Thanks for watching.